many face the same barriers: limited access to finance, limited access to resources, and too little support to scale up. And the national data shows that women's empowerment has risen 29%, from 29% to over 40% in just 5 years, which is a good thing, but we still have a long way to go, especially when it comes to the rural areas. So today we are going to delve right into it and look at how can we be able to support each other, hold each other's hands, so that we can be able to overcome all this. And allow me to invite my panelists. On the list, the first person on the list is Mr. Paul Muilu, who is the Gender Equality, Disability and Social Inclusion Coordinator, HIFA International, with over, please clap for him. Yes, 15 years of experience. He has worked with the microfinance sector, particularly in the design of innovative financial products, overseeing their successful spin, and he has implemented many developments projects across various landscapes and value chains with international NGOs in Kenya. So we'd love to hear from him, especially when it comes to access to finance, enterprise development, and gender integration. In all this, his enthusiasm has always been on the issues of the place of women in the target ecosystem. Karibu sana, Mr. Paul.
Good morning, everyone. Jambo.
Jambo. Right. Our next panelist is Honorable Beatrice Odongo, who is the CECM, Sports, Culture, Gender and Youth Affairs, Kisumu County. And she is a dedicated public servant and accomplished social scientist with over 8 years of experience in project management, organizational development, and public policy. A warm round of applause as she approaches the dais. And she has served as a nominated MCA and now serves as the County Executive Committee member for Sports, Culture, Gender and Youth Affairs. She's deeply passionate about gender equity, social development, and building systems that uplift women and young people across Kisumu. Good morning, Honorable Beatrice Odongo, and karibu sana to the panel. Good morning. Can get some assistant right there.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy to be here this morning.
Yes.
And I believe we'll have a fruitful discussion.
Yes, karibu sana. We will be joined by Honorable Mickey Ocheng, nominated MCA, Kisumu County. And she's a dynamic leader, a strong voice for women and youth, and a driving force for inclusive growth in a driving force for in Kisumu County. And as a nominated MCA, please clap for her. She makes her way to the stage. She champions for grassroots leadership and policy that centers marginalized community and beyond public service. She's a social entrepreneur. She founded the Marimara Foundation. It empowers vulnerable women and girls. And she also leads Donami, Absolute and Textiles, a creative enterprise creating sustainable livelihoods and opportunities within the region. She's a truly multi-sector change maker. Karibu sana, and good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Karibu sana.
Good morning, everyone. Asante sana.
Then our final panelist, Miss Lona Olango, Kisumu Branch Manager, Absa Bank. And she spans 18 years of experience in banking, spanning operations, customer experience, risk management, and women in business development. I'm trying to look for her. She wakes up, we give her a warm round of applause. There she is, looking lovely. And she brings an important financial lens to today's discussion because she's committed to expanding financial inclusion and building strong long-term client relationships. She recently represented APSA at the Women in Business Forum in Migori, where she engaged more than 500 entrepreneurs. Her insight on financing, banking, and capacity building will be crucial for this conversation. Good morning, Miss Lona.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there's finally me who can be given a seat so that we can continue with this conversation right here. I'd love to give each one of you just half a second to, I know I've read the introduction and it's wonderful and I love it. But I'm sure there's something about yourselves that you can tell these people that they don't know about you in the area that you work or just something different? Starting with you, Mr. Paul.
Thank you. I'm coordinating gender and social inclusion at Haifa International. My greatest experience on matters, then I'm really very passionate about this, and I believe my most powerful experience was gained from my mother, who brought 7 of us up as she sewed charcoal in the shops of Kadhanzweni in Makueni. And again, many years later, also experience gained from bringing up 2 beautiful girls as their dad. Thank you.
Wow, applause for him as well.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Like they said, my name is Honorable Miki Aworo Chin, a nominated member of the County Assembly of Kisumu. I don't think there's anything special about me that I'd like to add. I'm a mother.
Wow, okay.
To 4, 2 beautiful daughters and 2 boys. Should I add handsome?
Please do.
I'm a parent to very many. And on the side, I mentor girls and women.
Wow.
So that they know that no one is limited in whichever space, whether it's in the markets, in churches, in any position that you are, you're capable and you're able to create change.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Once again, I'm Honorable Beatrice Odongo, currently serving as the County Executive Committee member, Sports, Culture, Gender and Youth Affairs. One thing I would like to add is that I'm passionate about women empowerment.
Okay.
Be it economically, politically, socially. I'm really passionate about it.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward to have many women in different decision-making tables. And also even in the families, everywhere, in all the sectors.
Yes.
Because for me, if even women decide that they want to have their own president in this country,
We can.
they will get it.
We can, right? Women? Can we? You say it strongly. Can we? Thank you. Right, Mr. Lango. Yes, what would you like us something about, and how has it been, especially working with women? ABSA has been big on women empowerment. I must applaud you guys for that.
Thank you.
Yes, so how has it been?
Okay, you wanted me to introduce myself and add something small
Yes.
before I get to your question.
Sure.
Right, you heard my name correctly. I'm Lona Olango. Currently, I work as a branch manager in one of the branches within Kisumu Hub. And I'm passionate also about women. I think this was brought about by the fact that my background, I come from a family of 9, having 7 boys ahead, coming as the first girl.
Wow.
And the bar was set so high. And I don't know what I was going to do if I wasn't going to play their space. Because I remember many a times when Dad took me to school, one thing he was sure about to tell me, you have your well, he could tell me I have my aunties to emulate. But I looked at my auntie that was the best of my aunties, was a P1 teacher. So I could challenge myself. Is this what Dad wanted of me? But I looked at my brothers who had their degrees, and I said, now, I think, Dad, this is not where I'm going to have my benchmark. I will benchmark with my brothers. So I think while I was just a young girl, there was this thing about you must stand up as a girl. You won't believe it that at the time I was doing my class 8, we were only 2 girls sitting for primary education. Wow. That exam. And you know what? I went to school, the other girl did not make it to secondary. And you can imagine what that was. So I just said, something has to change.
Yes.
Out of that, I've seen girls come up after me from the same village and at least we are somewhere in the map.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It is indeed true that ABSA has done
Yes.
so great in the space of women-led entrepreneurship and business-owned. There we play strongly, and I have passion about it.
Yes.
Because while there, I would want to see fellow women. It's what I do every other day to empower businesses. So I would be so glad to see fellow women take up the privilege of what the bank is offering and to see themselves grow into even greater heights
Okay.
of their development.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Karibuni sana. Clearly. Yes, go ahead. A warm round of applause. Thank you. We are in very good hands, and sometimes I like people talking about their experience because we could grow up in the same village, even in the same household, all of us. Mr. Mulu has mentioned there were 7, you mentioned there were 9, and all of you will come out of different experiences. But now let's get into it. Starting with Mr. Paul, we've talked about gender, and we are looking at gender-focused financing, especially for MSMEs, and it shows that women own above 50% of these MSMEs, and they are only receiving like 36% of the loans. What does gender-focused financing look like? Maybe you can paint for us a picture.
Yes, I wanted to pick from the dismal statistics
Yes.
that you explained here, and I know so many of us know. So gender-focused financing would be designing financing mechanisms
Yes.
such that the financing ecosystem seeks to address the barriers to access of finance by excluded populations, in this case, the women that we shall be discussing about.
All right.
And I really want to be very short about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is all about intentional designing of interventions to overcome the barriers that
Yes.
I know will be discussed here.
Yes.
So that we get actual inclusion. Because
Yes.
the temptation is to tick boxes when we have women participating. How many women have banks under ABSA? Tick. But I mean, inclusion is not necessarily participation. It is more than that. Is it gainful? Are they participating
Right.
gainfully within the financial ecosystem?
Right.
That's about it.
I'd like to bounce off that question to you, Ms. Olango, as well. Maybe you can add on to it because you're in the sector. What does gender-focused financing look like? And also, what factors should any institution consider when they are financing women or them giving them, be it loans or anything? And how have these factors changed over time? Because if you understand, maybe we've had our mothers say they could not open bank accounts without our fathers. What was it? ID. Even marriage certificate at one point. So we've come from that era, and we are moving. So how has that changed also over time?
Okay. Definitely, we check, as banks, we do check about 5 things.
Okay.
When somebody is to be able to access credit, we have character, capacity, capital, collateral, and conditions. While we won't look at that into detail, I would basically narrow the answer to 2, whereby I'm talking about structural and financial factors.
Okay.
You realize that, as we've rightly put it, women, for a number of years,
Yeah, right.
depended on men. Like if you go to a community, you may get so many men with title deeds under their names, but you barely get a woman with a title deed under her name. Meaning, even tangible assets that somebody can pick on, if you are to spot women with such tangible assets, can be even investment in terms of bonds, bills, I mean, anything that can be used that is tangible, women shy. But as a bank, we definitely will be needing something tangible
Yes.
to
Yeah.
attach as a collateral. So this has really come in to disadvantage the women. It is out of culture, which we are here to have a change. I want to believe we have platforms now. We're telling women, if we are to get a piece of land, I know women who would definitely buy a piece of land with their money,
Right.
but they would rather put that under the name of their husband, which is something very costly. You better, if you were to do that, the best advice I can give you, make sure it is under the joint. Make sure it's under you plus your hubby. So that becomes a factor. I'm also looking at it in terms of limited credit history. Like they have never borrowed. They will never,
Anywhere.
Yes. So you see, sometimes when they come to us, we want to see, do they have a history? Is there anything that can prove that this person is worthy of the loan? I mean, can we give, does he have any credit history of repaying? It is missing out so big in our women space. Another thing that is there, we're talking about women not having proper records. They are engaged in this small business that they would rather just sell. At the end of the day, they don't even know what they had brought in terms of sales and what went in terms of their expenses. Away from that small bookkeeping, most of them, having not been banked, they don't have a history. Like for a bank formally, we would definitely want to see a document indicating that there has been some transactions happening, without which it becomes really hard for women to be able to access, not only women basically, but any other person involved in a business, and they don't have that record. So we are highly recommending that as small as your business may seem to you, it is advisable to have it banked, because we now have very friendly accounts that allow people to have their money. I know there was this fear about, if I bank my money, the bank will
they'll cut it.
Debit part of it, like there will be deductions. We
Yes.
have very friendly accounts that don't have monthly maintained fees.
Okay.
So you can always tap on that.
Right.
And so we invite you. Finally, under social, cultural, psychological factors, we're talking about stereotyping. We are talking about fear of rejection. A man walks to my office so boldly and he says, I want a loan.
Oh.
And they're so bold about it. A woman will come, then when you start poking questions and to why, there is that shyness that comes with it. So they are timid in a way, and that has also contributed to them not accessing the formal loans that we'd want to give them. We'll also talk about, as I said, cultural setting. You want to ask your husband whether you should go for this. Men will always walk to the bank and access, even without the knowledge of their spouse. Though there's a bit of spousal consent in some of our products, but you realize most of the times when men come, it is just the man.
They're not
But
asking for permission.
No, it's not there. But a woman will tag along the husband. In fact, after we even had a discussion, one will tell you, I'm going to consult with my
husband.
spouse, whether they consent to this or not.
Yeah.
So that has also played. I don't know if I could continue.
Let's we will come back to it, because I know there's a lot to debunk from that side. But Honorable Mickey, I know you have been representing, you know, as an MCA, but part of that they're women, and I know she has highlighted the cultural barriers. What are other barriers that you're experiencing that are preventing women from fully participating in economic drivers, as economic drivers, sorry?
Thank you for that. Allow me to take you back a minute.
Sure.
When you gave me an opportunity, I forgot to mention that I'm the Deputy Organizing Secretary to CAF, which is the Counties Assemblies Forum, meaning I represent all MCAs in Kenya.
Okay.
So allow me to put that there. I want to answer that question by remembering something I saw online. A man has come under fire online of not building their woman. He's saying, as a man, build yourself first. Women like for men to prove to them that they're able or that they're capable of taking care of them. So he's advising the men, ensure that you're taking care of yourself and investing in yourself, because if you do that, then the women will come. You will not have to prove to them that you're capable of taking care of them. And I want to say this. As that advice goes to men, I want it to go to our women folk.
Okay.
Invest in yourself. Develop yourself. Nurture yourself. Acquire all the skills that are necessary for you to bloom or to thrive in whichever capacity that you're in. Reason I'm saying this is because most of women in Kenya, I believe, really contribute to the economy of it.
They do. They do.
In their small ways.
Yes.
Problem with us as women is that more often than not, these barriers that they've spoken to and that I'll add to like the patriarchal nature of our society. You're saying you have to get consent from either your father or your mother to be able to open a bank account. I don't think that is necessary in this day and age. You can walk into any bank and open an account with consulting or not your spouse. I want to believe not all of them also consult you when they're doing that. And this is not bad family advice. I'm just saying, if you're keen on something, discuss as a family, then go ahead and do what you think is necessary for your job.
Yeah.
So the patriarchal nature aside, I believe there are also other legal and structural barriers that come in for women. Women don't have, and I do not want to repeat what she said, women don't have capital. Yeah, like for accessing finance, like she said. Women have issues with education and social norms in the societies. So you find that because you're a woman, for instance, you cannot own land or you cannot own property. And allow me to ask this question to the House.
Sure.
Amongst the women who are here today, who have a titled land that is in your name, not even joint title?
Okay.
This
Good
is-
number.
this
Good
is
number.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you buy, or was it bequeathed to you, or was it a gift from maybe, you know, who?
Bought? Okay, with the show of hand.
Bought.
Bought? Wow.
Bequeathed, inheritance?
Inheritance? Hatuachiwi mali siku hizi.
Hata kuna grandparent aliacha kitu mahali. So, oh,
Oh, there's
she got
one.
something.
Oh, inheritance.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So those barriers that you're not able to access also really takes us aback.
Okay.
I also know that our laws are very discriminatory.
Discriminative.
Yeah.
Bank
Kabisa,
loans?
kabisa. Yes.
Okay.
Like she said.
Or rather, financing institution. Let me just say
Very,
bank.
very discriminating.
Finance institutions.
Yes.
How
very
so?
Because I'm coming to, I go to a bank and I ask for loan.
Yeah.
They'll ask me, do you have any collateral? I'm like, no, I don't have. Do you have any business? It's when I want to start, so no, I don't have. Do you have, say, any other thing that you can use?
show.
We do not have. So if there's a way that we can come up with maybe policies that can help us ease into financing, I think that could also be of a big help.
And I'd love to bring in Honorable Beatrice on that as we talk about government, because it's a key stakeholder in any matter, be it women or anything. And we know it's large, it's complex, and sometimes priorities are different. But how can we coordinate efforts so that across departments, we ensure that women and women-led businesses are effectively supported and they become catalysts for economic growth? Are we looking into that? Are we present? Are we being felt?
Thank you so much. I think that is a good question, but I wanted to make a small comment to
Okay.
add on what Honorable Miki has said
Sure.
about some women just suffering because of lack of information. They are not informed of their rights. They don't know what to do when, where, and how to handle the situation.
True.
So that could also be one of the reasons why many women fear to venture into business or to maybe just go to the institutions to ask for what do you have here, and even it affects government institutions.
Right.
We have so many products. Of course, I'll talk also something to do with the national government, with both the county government. The national government has a lot of products or programs that can really support women.
Okay.
But many of them are not even aware that these things exist. Some of them are aware, but there is like an attitude, somebody went there, didn't get the good experience, came, shared with them. So they're like, I was told if you go there, you'll be mistreated.
Niliambiwa.
Exactly. So this information goes until they're like, we don't want to get involved into what government is doing.
Right.
So in terms of policies, I can say in Kenya, we have policies. The only problem is the implementation of these policies. Putting them into action and actualizing exactly what the policy should look like.
Yeah.
I want to give a specific one, like having the Women Enterprise Fund
Yes.
that should be supporting women to do business. Of course, the interest is low, being a government facility.
Right.
But you realize, of course, there are some areas where the intake of this money is okay. But if you come to our region, there is one attitude. There are people who feel like once you take the money, why should I repay? This is a government money anyway. And the moment you do that, she will tell you that you will be blacklisted. So when you go to the bank, you will not be able to access the loan. Whereby you took the Women Enterprise Fund, just convinced yourself that this is government money, why should I pay? But now when you get to the bank, you are told you have to clear what you took from WEF for you to get.
It messes your credit.
Exactly. So it takes you back. So you realize in our area, and especially Kisumu County, I want to say the uptake is low. Number one is because of the issues of people believing that this is a government money. Number two is them fearing loan because of the experiences they had. People say about when Kenya Women came, people were being auctioned. So I really don't want myself to be auctioned. Some went back. Some men were like, my wife sold everything just to pay the Kenya Women loan. So it is just an attitude that actually if us as women and even policymakers in our spaces where we are, we need to give out the right information so that they are well informed.
So awareness is very, very much necessary.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd love.
So I also wanted to add.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to add, because even if you come to Kisumu County as a government, we have a fund called Trade Fund.
Trade Fund.
Trade Fund.
Yes.
Yes. So this fund is there, but the experience we had when this money was allocated, I think in 2022, majority of groups that were given money, actually this money was being, you repay, it didn't have any interest, you only to pay the administration fee. But 90% of groups that took the money never repaid the money. So it therefore means that the fund is dead.
Yes.
While in reality, if they were to repay and then also other people are to get, then the fund would have grown from maybe the 50 million that it started goes to 100 million. So I think that is also something that we must talk about, because somebody may reason, me, I was not told this money is to be repaid. The governor gave us the money, not knowing this money was to be repaid. So I think it is very important to give information, creation of awareness.
Yeah, so awareness is very important. And also maybe sometimes I feel like if the information doesn't come from you, do we get to access that information? If I walk right into Kisumu County's government office, I am a woman, I want to know what fund is available for me. Will I get assistance? Will I get someone to tell me, what are you doing? Is there that support so that it doesn't have to come this way, it can also go this way?
Yeah, actually, for Kisumu County, we operate on an open door policy. You are allowed to knock any office just to ask what is there for you, not even specifically in terms of the money for you there to do business. We even have support of inputs for those who are doing farming that comes through the Department of Agriculture. We have a lot of women that we support under climate change. So you can walk in, and actually with the policy that we have, the access to information policy that the Kisumu County has. You can even go to our website. But now that we know not everybody in the villages has the smartphone for them to access the website, you can visit the sub-county admin offices, the ward administrators' offices. You just go there and you ask them, what is there for us? How do I benefit in it? And then how do I even also inform others to come and benefit? Yes.
Mr. Paul, we'd like to talk about interventions, especially because I remember yesterday George asked, who starts a business for it to remain small? All our hands were down. Who starts their business to fail? All our hands were down. So whether it's a woman starting a business, but right now we are focusing on women-led business, we look at transition from subsistence, in just for survival, to surplus, to profit, to going global, to transacting with other businesses, to getting big loans. So what interventions would you recommend? Complementary interventions, especially ones that HEIFA has put in place. Maybe you can tell us a few.
Thank you for that question. And There are many, yeah?
Yes.
Many of you have talked about complex, how this phenomenon is really complex, and that's why for us, it's a blend of many, many, many things
Yes.
in a bid to achieve the required transformation. And HEIFA implements, like Amina referred to, what we call the holistic approach to
Approach,
development.
right.
And key for us is the belief that transformation happens from within. And so for the women we work with, we know that they face a lot of contradictions from within, as alluded to by the panelists here. The girl who follows me in our family is called Cecilia. Cecilia was this very sharp girl. She was sharper than me. She was stronger than me. She would thrash me anytime she felt like.
Yes.
But with the benefit of hindsight, I now know that the society, beginning from the home, the village, the church, society kept reminding Cecilia that she was not the real deal because she was a girl. And so for us, this is a woman in business, and you know those things don't go away because you have a degree or because you go to church. They are really
Ingrained. New.
yes. So for us, the first journey we want to begin with these women is to deal with these demons such that they can master enough confidence, they can believe in their dreams, and it cannot change in a day or a month, or it is
True.
a journey. We plant the seed for them to begin. It is a whole process we call values-based holistic community development, whereby we want them to begin a journey of working on these demons. Because we know, and we are backed by research, because research says 85% of what we are going to achieve is not a result of the technical know-how, your degrees and stuff, but the software, your software is going to determine 85% is the software that is going to get you to where you want to be. So that is key for us.
You're right.
And of course, again, when it comes to to diagnose the issues, we deploy market surveys as well as gender surveys, which we look at keenly to see the issues.
Right.
Because again, if you don't diagnose well,
Yeah.
you are going to waste resources, you are going to waste your time, you are going to waste everybody's time, and you will not achieve whatever you want to achieve. So for us, again, diagnosing the issues is very key. Then now, after diagnosing the issues, we seek to co-create the necessary pathways to transformation with these women. Because for us, we believe in locally led approaches. And after now agreeing on the pathways, some of the tactics we have done is deploy specialists in business development services, depending on the issues that we have identified that would be barriers to these women achieving their business objectives and their dreams. So BDS, yeah, and technical assistance, that is key. We have had to deploy infrastructure, market infrastructure, and we have worked with financiers. Some of the things we have done with financiers is on product development, so that they can craft products that are suitable for the population that we are targeting.
Yeah.
We've had to de-risk them by placing some resources with them, just to fast track the process. And of course, we also encourage the women to put into the pot whatever they have by way of their own equity, especially in cooperatives, women cooperatives that we work with. And for me, most importantly, we keep reimagining how this can really be refined, how it can get better. And so we have a Directorate of Innovative Finance at HEIFA that keeps reimagining the whole ecosystem with a view to serving these women better.
All right.
Yeah, those are just what is coming off my head right now.
And I like what you said about our backgrounds and where we come from, and about unlearning, and the fact that it doesn't happen in a day. You've known this for all your life, for all your, say, 30 years old, and unlearning that, which is a very good approach when it comes to holistic. We're in the last round, so if you have any questions, I'd appreciate if you can prepare them, because we'll have a session for Q&A. But I want us to talk about the loans. So beyond the loans that are being provided to women-led businesses, how can we create an ecosystem that promotes gender-focused financing all around, that is sustainable in the long run? And probably in your space, what are you doing about it, you know, so that we have sustainability in that I can take a loan today, but is it sustainable?
Okay, thank you so much. And the whole thing about our summit today is to see our business existing past today,
Yes.
years to come. And that would be the essence of us also as a financial institution coming in to partner with women to give them solutions that can be able to allow them to live their businesses, to live beyond today. So I will categorize this in 3.
Yeah.
As an institution, we have tailor-made products to meet the need of a woman today. For example, somebody talked here about startups. They will never have access to loans.
Yeah, funds.
As an institution, we have set aside funds to allow women-led businesses to access up to 3 million unsecured. You have noticed that when I say unsecured, we've already solved the issue around collateral, around how do they get the titles to be able to access our loans. So, tailor-made products suitable to women who are just starting up to a maximum of 3 million.
All right.
So that's really a solution, which we have a fund that is boosting that.
Okay.
We are also having a product called She Trades. She Trades, she simply means, I know you want to take it from the she, he, but then at our place, she simply implies see her empowered.
Oh, see her empowered. Also for she.
For she.
Right.
We have a fund, and it was initiated 5 years ago. That is in 2020. We set aside 10 billion worth of money for women in business to access, so that whenever they need their businesses to be boosted, they can come to us. And out of this fund, remember, it's a donation. We're gonna support you, and it's a pool. As she rightly put it here, what we are trying to encourage our customers is that once you have this money, we will take you through what you need to do in your business so that you are able to have your repayments as they fall due, you are able to meet them. Because one thing that is lacking is this information. I have just had the money. And so what? You think it is the end of the day. So we as a bank, we have relationship managed engagement, whereby a woman coming to access, you'll be assigned a relationship manager who would walk with you the journey. You have accessed the money, do this and this, so that you're able to have your money, your money making some revenues for you, and you're able to repay back to the bank as it falls due.
Okay.
We are also having partners to have our women exposed. There's a time that when we were at this space whereby we are talking lack of information, lack of market access. With the partners that we have onboarded, if we allowed our women to be part of this engagement through our business clubs, we have our business club in Absa. So being a member of the business club will expose you to some of the events that we occasionally do have, and we have them on a quarterly basis, whereby you can come on board, we provide information, we train you, we even take you overseas for business trips, so that you can have access to markets that if you are not part of that business club, you didn't have had an opportunity to. We're also looking to allow you in that forums, because like today we are meeting here.
Right.
And we're doing a lot of networking. So if we brought all our business club members in Kisumu County, Vihiga County, wherever, like across the country, then we can share business ideas, and that will go a long way in making our businesses to be able to survive past today.
Okay.
And finally, we have programs for mentorship. Right now in Kenya, we have trained over 50,000 women. We have programs where they register, and we do this training for free. I don't know why we've not done one in Kisumu County, but
Maybe.
I know we have done quite a bit with our Western sisters here.
Yeah.
There was a Mulembe. Mulembe simply refers to there's a name, if you come from Lueland, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So we intentionally just send invites to interested women, both young and a real empowered economy. Like you rightly put it, I think the speech that was read, if you empower a woman, it's a whole community empowered.
Thank you. As we wrap up, Honorable Mickey, and I would like, of course, we're going to have one more for Honorable Beatrice as well. Look at the legal and policy framework in this country, especially around business. They need to change to support women. How do we work around? You mentioned a legal at one point. How do we put them in place for them to support, and how does that process look like?
Thank you. I know for sure, speaking for Kisumu County, there are bills and policies that surround how business is done, especially around gender mainstreaming and gender mainstreaming especially. And Beatrice will tell you, as the cultural minister,
Yes.
the kind of strides we've made to achieve that.
Okay.
Right now, and I think currently we are having a bill and a policy document on market management. And the reason we are trying to go this direction is because most of the women folk, like we said, are disadvantaged in terms of getting employment that are gainful because of the nature of our society. So the market management bill, for instance, will help the small traders in markets and Kisumu, business traders in Kisumu, to be able to trade safely, to feel secure
Yes.
in their spaces of trade, because we also know for a fact that apart from the challenges that we get, things like GBV is really rampant, and especially economic gender-based violence.
Yes.
You're scared to move from your house to go to work because you get harassment in public transportation, you get harassment in workspaces, you get harassed almost everywhere. So most of the women, and talking about back on the challenges that you're getting, is what is making them shy to go to employ, to better or, you know, better workspaces as compared to the men. And again, you realize that because of the nature of our society, where women are the biggest caregivers and taking care of the homes, they want something that is closer home.
Yes.
So you find that at the end of the day, you are not able to venture into bigger risk or bigger businesses or workspaces. So these kind of policies will help, and it helps with the banking ecosystems. It helps with people who do financial literacy for the people. It helps with the people who trainers of small businesses.
Right.
So there's a whole lot that needs to come in play to be able to help women trade better in our communities.
Wow, that's good. We have our business protecting women in this country by then. I feel like it's a multi-sectoral approach.
It is.
That's why I said, as women, we can't be able to do it alone. There's men as well. And also there's government. And I want us to talk about policy. And I know you mentioned about policy, but maybe from where you sit, because policies are there. Implementation is where we meet the challenges. How do we translate those policies? Maybe from an idea. What do we need to do as legislation, maybe from your side, us as women and the community at large, for us to be able to transform this into action, especially to support women and women-led businesses? Because I know we need all of us to come in.
Thank you so much. I think first I will start because I will start with us as women doing small businesses. We know women fear loan, but have you gone to these small markets? They take monies from Shylock.
Well, and the interest
They are
rates.
ready to pay, take 1,000, which within 26 days they are repaying 3,000. That will be an interest of like 2,000. So why is it that it is easier for them to take that small money from the Shylock, but it is difficult for them to move to an established financial institution to get the same money at a low interest rate? And by the way, the Shylocks keeps harassing them every day. Some of them are even sexually misused from the informations that we are getting around. So I want to say it is from a perspective of women in business. It has to start with all of us. Another thing again that I wanted to mention, and it is always very loud when you talk about it. You know, people believe when you say gender-related issue, then
It's
it is
only
women-related
yeah,
issue.
even men.
Actually, it is both
Men and women.
and women. So that is also something that is making some men, when you say we are trying to do gender equity, they're like, you are busy with women. I'm not involved in what you are doing.
Yeah.
While the reality is, they should be part and parcel of the communication that you're having in terms of gender equality or gender equity. In terms of the policy, as I say that it comes back to us as women, one thing we must believe in ourselves. There are many people who, if you look at them, they're like, can I really do it? They don't believe in themselves. Right now, we are talking about the sector of creative economy. How many women do we have in that sector? In creative economy.
Right.
How many women, the government is offering the 30% for women, youth, and people with disability in terms of businesses across board. How many women are taking advantage of that opportunity to register businesses, to do the business with the government, and they are paid?
Yes.
And the funny thing is, we've had scenarios whereby a lady gave the ID to a man, registered the name and got the WAGPO, did the business, did not pay the tax, and now the KRA is on you. That is when now you realize, you know, somebody requested me for my ID, he gave me 20,000, I didn't know he was going to register a business. So you see, such are kind of things that we as people in business, we can avoid such kind of scenarios because it is something you can do for yourself.
Right.
Why do you have to give somebody your ID to do something on your behalf, and then it will lead you to problems? Finally, as a government, and I think this will be a collective responsibility,
Right.
not just as a government, even the business ecosystem, they can be on board on this, all sectors across. How do we ensure
Yes.
that we make women to believe in themselves in the small spaces where they are?
Yes.
A woman doing agriculture, that is business. They can make money out of that agriculture.
Yes.
Because you go to the community every day, when a child is sent back home because of school fees, the first person that will be like, can I sell maize, is the woman.
Yeah.
Who will think first and say, this child needs to get back to school. How do we get
Or
a
go
solution?
plead.
Yes, because the father will be like, I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll consult a friend and look for money somewhere.
Yeah.
But a woman will think, do I have a chicken to sell? Do I have maize
Cow,
to sell?
goat.
Do we have something to put on board for us to ensure that the child goes back to school?
Okay.
So I think it is a collective responsibility to all of us. Number one, to encourage women who still fear coming out themselves and doing something for themselves, and also just continuing to create awareness of things that exist. I'm very sure there are women who even doesn't know that the government is giving the 30% for women, youth, and people with disability in
Yeah.
terms of businesses. You can even be a contractor, road contractor. You can get tenders anywhere, be it parastatal, national government institution, county government, schools. There are women doing agriculture, paying their school's fees by supplying Skuma Wiki to a school, and then it is deducted from the school fee.
Okay.
So me, I want to put it that it is a collective responsibility that all of us must be keen on and ensure that we support other women who still do not have the information that we have and are not into spaces where we are. We bring them on board.
Thank you. I'd love us to continue, but time is really not on our side. I have Brian, allow me room for 2 questions. If you have a question, you can, by the show of hand, to any of our panelists. Going once, going...
I have a comment.
Oh, yes, sure, go ahead.
Statistics, once again, are in check. Statistics, once again, is in favor of women and women-led enterprises with regard to non-performing loan ratios.
Right.
However, despite that being a reality, there are more loans advanced to men. So that's a misnomer. 2, women have the bigger population, I think, in any subsector.
Yes.
Save for where it's male-dominated, perhaps engineering and the like. My proposal would be that ladies come together, and sadly, she was speaking about high-interest loans.
Right.
There's a World Bank report that says that provided you're born a woman, first of all, your chances of living and dying poor is 36%.
Wait.
That's not me.
It's research, I know.
Statistics. It's not me. And I can put it up there.
Yeah.
The same statistics also talks about exposure to high interest loans. So we are talking about Shylocks. We're talking about people who will give you, you know, those ones you go and borrow in the morning and then pay in the evening.
Yes.
And we see that a lot.
Yeah.
In the info, and you can't blame them. But the thing is that the inclusion, financial inclusion from that sense now should come from a policy point of view. If the women rep of this country can do something meaningful to the women of this country, even in building wealth and retaining wealth among women. I'm not talking about marital wealth, I'm talking about individual woman's wealth. We should have the women reps stand up and table a bill in parliament that changes the things to do, like with the monetary policy in the country.
Right.
And say that henceforth we want credit rating to be based off of these statistics that is coming from the banking institutions. It is not us, that is data from the central bank.
Right.
And information is not just good to be quoted in conferences like this, it is good so that it informs how we also move ahead. Because the truth is that all these systems were built by men for men. Sadly, that's the reality.
Okay.
And right now, data is in favor of women. Now, can we piggyback on that? And that is not for us to do, it is for women to push. You guys can use everything, including manipulation, to make sure that passes.
Right.
Use that to your advantage.
Okay.
Questions,
Thank you.
comments,
Questions?
answers?
A round of applause for Brian. I mean, he's in the business, he's a business reporter, so it makes sense. He has all this data and information. And thank you very much for that insight. Okay, go ahead. One question.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Polycarp.
Yes, Polycarp.
And thank you for the insightful words and insightful comments you made. However, I have this observation to make, particularly targeting the banking sector. We are actually grappling with financial exclusion because, and as we talk about women not accessing loans, women not being banked, it is all about exclusion. And that exclusion is actually a policy issue at the bank level. Because one, you realize that when somebody goes to the bank, not just ladies, but even gentlemen, and probably they've not done business before, the bank is likely to turn them away because banks, in my opinion, most of the times finance lifestyles as opposed to ideas. That is why when I come to you with a fat pay slip, not knowing that maybe tomorrow I'll be sacked, you give me a loan. But if I come with an idea that is very tangible, not able to give me a relationship manager who can walk me through and ensure that that idea survives. So that is one thing. Secondly, we are in a space where now we have a very robust banking system that we call M-Pesa. Sadly, banks have not been able to move into that space where the use M-Pesa as a good financial document to advise or to even inform when they are giving loans to clients.
Right.
Because if they do, then even these clients that we're talking about who cannot be given loans, then be able to access loans very easily. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a challenge to the banking sector. I know you would want to weigh in on that, but maybe you have one more question so that we can wrap up. Okay, there's one more. Oh, another one. Okay, Brian, I'm going to steal 5 minutes from you so that, yeah, maybe you can pass over the mic there.
You will pay me.
I will.
Thank you. I don't have a question, but I just want to blame the women themselves.
Hey,
You are a problem to yourself.
how so?
You have competitive advantage over us. First of all, one of my colleagues here quoted the number, the statistics. In Kenya now you are over 51% of the total population.
You are the majority.
You are the majority. And you need to stand up and be counted. Look at what Angela Merkel did in Germany. And when she announced that she was going to stand down, not only Germany came to a standstill, but the entire Europe. They have never seen leadership of that. And go and Google and find out what it did to the economy of the country.
Yeah.
Economy cannot grow unless people are doing economic activities. You
Yes.
yourself, you're working. And he did it. And think of Silof, Helen Silof, of Liberia, who moved the country, deserted the country from civil war. And see what she did.
Yes.
See what she did by herself and count it. And look at Rwanda. How did it get out of the problem? I worked there, and the president decided to reshuffle the cabinet and put on a 50-50 and appointing a woman a prime minister. Right now, some of the vegetables you eat here and the rest are imported from where?
Rwanda.
From Rwanda. Google and see where Rwanda is. And mainly because of the decision, most of the key decisions are made by women.
It's quite a challenge. We take it.
Ethiopia also copied that from Rwanda. See what has happened.
Okay.
And in conclusion, I ask for apologies from my male colleagues. I said that women control our psychology. And I want to challenge you. First of all, look at the advertisement, either on TV, social media, or where. You are after shave or whatever it is. There is a woman there. There is a woman there for it. That will convince you. And you yourself, look at the shirt you bought, even the shoes you are putting on. You had a budget.
Yes.
You went round, you look at that, you saw this is good, then you started scratching your head. If you are married, what will my wife say about it? This is true. If you have a girlfriend, will she like it? And if you have a side chick, how will it convince her? Yes. Okay?
Okay.
I could give so many examples, but there is no time.
Yes, please.
I just want us to grow up, women. And women, please, the challenge is in your own hand. Take the power and save this country.
Thank you so much. We'll take it.
There was a comment somewhere.
There was one here at the front. Cynthia. Yeah, right? Yes. Then we can wrap up.
So, thank you. I just want to start by what he has said, that women have competitive advantage over men. But then you realize that men have taken, nowadays they have want to incorporate women in everything that they do, but then you find that the advantage still goes back to them, even in terms of the shares. That means that, I feel that there's been so much information gap, more so in terms of even the government institutions, because a lot of women still don't know that there are things that there are opportunities that that are for them.
Right.
And that has made them even to be manipulated by the other gender still. So my question is just basically, how do we now then bridge this information gap, even from the government institution themselves to the other larger community?
I know we had mentioned of awareness, just to keep talking about it. I don't know if you want to add something on that, Honorable Betty. Is there something you want to add on that? Because I know we had said we need to do like a whole awareness campaign.
Okay, thank you so much. I think what I would add is just that we can take advantage of different communication platforms that we have, so that we ensure that the information is on those communication platforms. And that gets me back to putting everybody on board. It is a collaborative responsibility, be it banks, government institutions, NGOs, organizations, and then with that, many people will be able to get the information. But I want to finalize as I say what he has said. I think in my first statement I said, if women in this country decide that they want to have one of their own being a president,
we will.
Then it is a reality. The challenge is, it is the same women who will be fighting her before she gets the president.
And I had seen that coming, and I don't want us to get there because it's a can of worms that we are opening. But if we actually believe we can do it, I know we can. And I know you want to weigh in on the bank issue. I also believe that if we are going to elect women, let's elect women who show they can do, not just you're being elected because you are a woman. I know we have men who can table bills about women because it's not competition, it's complementing. We are complementing each other. So even if the women rep who is going to vie in your county or whatever next, if you weigh them and you see they cannot be able to bring something tangible, don't give them that vote simply because they are a woman. I know men cannot vie for women rep, but let's have women who have something to take and who can give us something when they go to make policies. I think that is a challenge to all of us. Let's weigh in on the bank and wrap up so that we can welcome Brian for the next panel.
Thank you, Paul. I believe that we have a policy around diversity and inclusion. We have not excluded anyone, and everybody is included therein. We even have a supplier diversity policy whereby, as a bank, we are committed to to have our supply chain having 30% of that is set aside for women and people which are able differently and youth. So no one is discriminated. The only thing is the fact about information.
Yes.
Our women do not have this information, and that's why I agree with Honorable here by saying all of us are called to action. And that's why I even said as a bank, we have mentorship programs. We are registering people therein. And our main aim of doing that is to cascade information that will be very vital for our women now to come up strongly and start playing their beat.
Maybe to answer him, there's something he had about M-Pesa statement.
Okay. I was going to.
Right.
And also to add, M-Pesa statement, that is a valid document that the bank can use. But you will notice a lot of times that when the M-Pesa statement, we do what we call extractions. When we pull that and compare, you'll basically see it's the same money that went into the M-Pesa that has since been probably transferred into an account for those who do have. So you realize that it can only be an additional document.
Support
but
document.
We can always, remember I said we have funds allocated for startups, meaning a startup doesn't have any history. So we are open, and I think we are changing our policies just to see that everybody and the women now that we are targeting are actually supported to meet the objective that all of us here desires. Let me just make a comment even as I wrap up.
Yes.
I deal with heads of institutions. It's a wonder to note that institutions that are managed by women, at the end of the year, they have surpluses. But these institutions that are managed by men, you realize that by, let me just talk of schools, by third term, no capitation has come. These people are dry. In fact, they come asking, how do I even pay for these bills that are amassed?
Yeah.
So, clearly women, we are managers. We know how to take care of the little things that we have.
Wow.
And that's why we are looking to see that this platform allows our women who are here, and even those that are represented by the men, to realize that it's really necessary that we get empowered and play to our space.
Wow.
Thank you.
A warm round of applause for our panelists. Thank you so much for all your insights, your wisdom, your nuggets, and I know we'd have loved to go on, but we have another panel coming in. But to wrap up, I would like to say what Brian, I would like to quote him. This information, may it not remain here. May it not remain here for the purpose of we had a business ecosystem summit 2025. May we actually act on it. If you want help, walk into that government office so that maybe if you are coming back here on 2026, you're coming to say, I went to Kisumu, Kiambu County, whichever county you come from and you got information, whatever we have gained, let us act on it. And it's a wrap. Thank you very much. Clap for yourselves, you guys. Watu wa media, naomba tupigwe picha ya group. Yeah, we'd love to take a group photo so that we can usher in Brian for the next panel, which is on health, another key sector in our industry. So our media people, we are in your hands. Please direct us. Wapigeni makofi tena. Thank you. And at this point, over to you, Brian. Take over.
Very many thanks to my co-host. Let's appreciate her once again. Allow me to ask the protocol team. Sorry, let me just. Allow me to ask the protocol team to help me take off 2 chairs here because our panel is very tight and very short. And as they do that, let me say this, that the conversation or the Q&A session earlier on was not about competing between men and women, but it was just an invitation to a challenge, a healthy challenge to be able to step up. Let me speak briefly about what Prof said because we need to get to this panel. Briefly. Even during COVID, and you know these are available statistics, you can view them, you can see. Which countries managed COVID better? Correct. No, this is available statistics. Go and check. Croatia at the time, I think Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf hadn't moved, hadn't left office. 2020, the countries that actually COVID infections were lowest were the ones that were led by ladies. Let me give another example. This year, Namibia elected their first woman president, right. Professor Netumbo. At 72, she's appointed 50% of her cabinet women. When America, and I'd like to go on record for this, I am at home, I don't fear anyone. When America was putting, and I don't like the way overnight President Trump has made a statement that he's going to stop migration from third world countries to America. When he put these visa sanctions on Namibians, she retaliated and said, okay, that's how you want to play? Let's also retaliate. That reciprocal nature. Yeah. Why don't we have the balls to do that here? Sorry. But you get my point.
Brian,
one more chair, please.
I don't want to add on that.
One more chair.
I see institutions when they are running down, and I've seen, I don't want to quote them because mimi siko kwetu, maybe itapigwa, but women CEOs are the ones sometimes who come to salvage institutions that have been run down, and now you've been told to come, and I know one, and I don't want to quote Tamiri House, and when now things have gone haywire, a woman is the one that is coming to salvage the situation and work with the budget that is available.
Correct. Yeah, so the dream to have a woman president in this country is possible. However, just beside the numbers, you need also financial muscle. Let me come again. Besides the numbers, which are beautiful, and it's good that 51% population is women, we also need, there is also the necessity to can we call 100 women entrepreneurs and we are able to raise 10 billion shillings in campaign for a woman president? That is not a question I want you to respond to right now. Go think about it. Mukiitwa hivi pamoja. And that's why I said individual wealth and not family or marriage wealth. Individual. So and so Akinyi, this and that owns this. And when they came to that meeting contributing or raising funds towards campaign of, let's say, Nonsizi, you guys raised 12 billion towards that campaign. Food for thought. That's why we need to strengthen these businesses. It's not out of nothing. So yeah, now Somea, Poleni. Ladies and gentlemen, the next panel is on strengthening healthcare for economic resilience. More and more ever we are proving that health is actually wealth. And there's the necessity of making sure that a healthy nation is productive. When you have a properly functional healthcare system and a properly functional healthy nation, there is much more you can produce from a GDP, from a per capita GDP point of view. So here we are not talking about the net or the average of what a country produces, but from an individual point of view, you have way more output to contribute towards economic growth. And that's why we are here today. I have just two panelists, so I don't want to keep you here past 1 p.m. Mr. Justin Kosgei is the Group CEO and Principal Officer at AR Insurance. He is supposed to be here with us, so Justin, if you're here, please make your way to the panel. Next is Judith Getugi. All right, so allow me to invite Mr. Justin Kosgei, the Group CEO and Principal Officer at AR, to give us a little more perspective on this before we begin. And most welcome, sir. A bit about him, I've moderated another panel where he was. He's Harvard trained. Let him, Asiwa Choche, he's not that simple as he looks. Karibu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. I think the first lesson I learned right now about men is we push back. And women also have to do that. When we were told that we're supposed to be on the panel, I thought and I said, I actually need to do a speech first. So allow me to begin by acknowledging the representatives from the national government, representatives from the county governments, business and organization leaders, members of the fourth estate, and all distinguished guests present here today. My name is Justin Kosgei. I'm the Group CEO for AR Insurance, where we have operations in Kenya and East Africa, and we are glad to be here today. So it's an honor to join the Business Ecosystem Summit. We've always tried to be able to support businesses and participate as often as we can. And therefore, standing on the shores of Lake Victoria here is a reminder that the future of our economy is not is very important for us. And talking about healthcare is to also show that the human aspect of it is not just abstract. It's important. So I'll just talk just a few points about why we believe that the healthcare is very critical for us to achieve the economic emancipation of our communities. The human engine as a symbol of resilience, as a backbone of resilience. When we talk about economic resilience, we often jump straight into big ideas such as infrastructure, supply chains, policies, capital flows. But we believe also that the true engine of our economy is the one that keeps Kenya moving forward every day. And as a lot has been talked about today, the MSMEs. That MSME is also driven by people. And a country cannot build on resilience, a resilient economy when the people and the workforce is fragile. So resilience for small businesses is not only about financial reserves, but also about having healthy, protected, and confident team. A team that can show up, innovate, take calculated risks, and keep the businesses going, even when times are tough. Health as a productivity tool. We know this, not in theory, but in practice, that a sick employee means a stalled work. A sick workforce means that the economies are also stalled. Yet the financial burden of accessing healthcare in Kenya still remains very high. Today, 24% of all healthcare spending still comes directly from households, paid out of pocket. It has improved from 32% in 2013, more than 10 years back, but it's still high because 24% from 32% is an improvement, but not so much. And when you compare for the last year, nothing much has really changed. And further to that, only 1 in 4 Kenyans has any form of health insurance. A lot has been said about Rwanda, and they also lead us in healthcare financing, by the way. So the NHI or the SHIF equivalent of Rwanda covers 99% of the Rwandans. And I have had the privilege of working in many countries, and Rwanda is one of them, where I was leading an insurance company there, Old Mutual, so, during COVID actually, and we did very well at a country that time in responding. So here we have only 1 in 4 Kenyans with any form of health insurance. That includes SHA, so we are really behind. Now consider that SMEs or MSMEs in Kenya employ 80% of the workforce, mostly in the informal sector. That means most of our engine is running uninsured. When families face high medical costs, and every one of us actually, I'm sure you know someone who has faced a serious medical cost, families tend to take drastic measures, cutting food, pulling children out of school, selling productive assets, or taking expensive debt, just like what has been mentioned about the Shylocks. And these are not just personal decisions, they are economic shocks happening at the large scale, broad scale. Yet we know that investment in health as one of the highest returns. Whatever is invested in healthcare, the productivity equivalent is almost 9 times what is put in. So healthy people are productive people, and productivity is the foundation of resilience. This is why for us at AR, we designed solutions for MSMEs, all the way from health solutions, where no one else was really doing much. We've done so much, we've insured thousands of SMEs, and this is designed around real barriers, no waiting periods, simplifications, no compulsory medical tests, no outpatient co-pays, immediate coverage from day one, and free checkups, so that we move towards preventative healthcare issues, so that issues are detected early on before they become crisis. We equally also protect the businesses with the business insurance. So it's not just about paying medical bills, it's about keeping teams present, protected, and productive. Further, protecting businesses against shocks. In this instance, resilience is about more than just health. That is the first layer in our view, first foundation. Small businesses are one accident away from catastrophe, whether it's fire, whether it's an accident, somebody falling and injuring themselves, and they are the key people in that business. So workplace injuries, illnesses, and disabilities carry massive costs. Yet many SMEs see insurance against accidents, especially the mandated ones by law, as compliance. In reality, it is essential that it's an essential balance sheet protection. So we have covers that step in when the unexpected happens, covering treatment, hospitalization, rehabilitation, especially rehabilitation, and income protection for several months when severe cases happen. So you can imagine when you have small logistics firms where employees get injured while doing their work, and without cover, an employer could face medical bills and damages that may close the business. So with proper protection, the employee receives treatment and the family support and the business stays afloat. Or when there's fire, we have paid businesses, including hardware here that have been burned down during political violence and other things like that. And we are very proud to note that we have brought back businesses that had faced catastrophic situations. So that is what we believe resilience looks like. Further, defending professional integrity. A lot of SMEs now are also in the space, professional space, as either consultants, lawyers, experts in various fields. Because as an economy, our core resource is actually human capital. Unlike other countries in East Africa or Africa, the biggest, or the main thing for us is human capital. So we are a service-driven economy, and it's another silent risk in this is professional error. So a single accusation, whether justified or not, can cripple a consultant or an SME. So we provide insurance for that ensures that as a professional indemnity, any one mistake does not become a business-ending event, but we protect reputations, cover legal defense, and absorb settlement costs. Because resilience today includes intellectual and professional safety, not just physical safety. So from an ecosystem point of view, we want to emphasize that no single company, no single SME, no single county can fix these challenges around healthcare alone. We need an ecosystem collaboration that ensures that, one, we have policy incentives that encourage health coverage for MSMEs, not just funding alone. We need to extend that. Distribution networks that reach customers wherever they are, through banks, through SACCOs, through community programs and groups. Strong and trustworthy healthcare providers that actually deliver services, not having a hidden agendas behind their business. And finally, digitized and automated systems that reduce friction, leakage, and cost. And that is how we will build not just safe businesses, but a safe and productive nation. So in conclusion, as we head into the panel discussions that has been highlighted, we believe that no families should be pushed into poverty because of an illness. And no SME collapses from a shock it cannot absorb, whether it's an accident, illness, theft, or fire, or political risk. And no entrepreneur should lose everything from a preventable risk. So we look forward to a Kenya where protecting people is seen as protecting profits. And resilience is not only measured in numbers, but in lives and futures that we have secured. So at AR, our commitment remains clear. We protect your people, so you can, as a business, focus on your business, what is really core to you, which is one of the things we say all the time is we protect the health and wealth because they go together. Let us build a resilient economy, one that is healthy, one business at a time. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
$2 billion one term. So one more chair, please, so that Mr. Justin can join us on the panel, because we have a panel of 3. Extreme right to the other end. Yes, there you go. Let me invite the rest of the panelists on stage. Dr. Judith Getugi from the East Africa Managing Partner, the East Africa Managing Partner at Integra Ventures, joins us. To my second right, and finally Dr. Clifford Ojwang, Regional Manager, AAR Healthcare, Kisumu. Second right. Check. All right. Let me give Judith and Ojwang 30 seconds each to introduce themselves and tell us what they do now that we understand what Justin is about.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to IMC people for bringing this together. The managing partner, East Africa, for Integra Ventures, which is a health consultancy firm. And we're involved in all aspects of health. So we like to say that we are a one-stop shop for health businesses, from infrastructure, all the way to policy development, all the way to recruitment. We've been in existence for about 14 years now, and we have 6 offices globally. I'm also the founder of We Are Binti, which is a women mentorship program. And so far, we've been able to mentor 650 women. And it's mostly on leadership, but we also talk about things like interview skills and things like that. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Mr. John?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be here today. I am a doctor by profession and also the regional manager of AR Healthcare in Kisumu. I really like what I do. I really enjoy interacting with everyone who visits our facilities. And also, I'm also privileged to also have a good look into the business side of healthcare. And I think that in this panel discussions today, we'll have very good insights for all attendees, and also from my fellow panelists. We learn and share quite a bit of information. Thank you.
Great. Let me start with Justine. And before we get there, we're going to have 2 rounds of questions, and it's an invitation once again. It's not a lecture, it's a conversation we're having, so we'll expect your questions at the tail end of this panel. Insurance businesses, underwriters have pretty much figured out personal insurance, whether it's health, whether it's indemnity against risk, whichever way you think about it. But businesses and the uptake of insurance, particularly for small and medium enterprises, is still way below 10% in this part of the region. What is insurance business currently doing to advance protection for MSMEs, especially from a health point of view?
Yeah, thank you for that. You're right in terms of the penetration or the uptake of insurance by businesses. As we have done research as AR, we funded research and in partnership with various organizations that are keen on enhancing the success of SMEs in the country. And we made that report available free to everyone who is keen on supporting this sector. And one of the things that came up are the usual things that we find for most of the challenges that SMEs and businesses face. One, they have a lot of priorities, and these priorities compete for the funds that they have. And so insurance, though is something they know is important, most of the time gets relegated from the list to the bottom of what they need to look at. Secondly, when they do have some funds, they're not regular as such, and therefore most of the time insurance law in Kenya, the requirement is insurance supposed to be paid upfront annually. So, but SMEs and businesses, small businesses, you find their cash flow is unpredictable, it's irregular. So they are looking for solutions that actually are able to gather into that. And finally is trust. Insurance is still a game of trust, it's a promise. And that is an area that we need to fix. But we have done some work, as I mentioned. For us, we have insured already close to 4,000 SMEs in a space of 2 years, where we tried to work with these findings to develop solutions. And the first one is around affordability. We realized not everyone, from an health perspective, would really want to get to buy too much of a premium cover the way we provide for bigger corporates, for smaller businesses. So we customize solutions for businesses at that level. And we saw that with that, the SMEs have been able to take up a lot of health insurance. And later on, with the research we have done, we have brought in other features. We've brought in coverage for business itself, not just for individual, and even protect them against liabilities. The second part is already, we've looked at installments. People can pay now their premiums installments, either through arrangements that we have made directly with us or through banks that we have partnered with. And then finally, on the trust aspect is we're working closely with partners, such as now forums like this one, to be accessible and to be available to clients and to businesses, and also combine that with digitization, where information now is more transparently available and they can be able to buy, transact, and with that get convinced that this actually works and protects your business.
I'm going to do a follow-up question on that, particularly on trying to make businesses appreciate the need for insurance apart from just political upheavals. I mean, we've seen Mozambique come from a very heated election period, Tanzania just the other day, Kenya, protests and all that, and how businesses are affected on a daily basis. But I'd like to engage you more later on that, just to make the business owners inside here appreciate beyond political action, perhaps force majeure could be an issue to consider when looking at insurance or considering insurance for your business. Let me bring in Dr. Gitugi on this one. Health, just like sustainability and so many other facets of the economy, education and the like, those are areas of amenities that are considered social in a sense, impact in a sense. However, the sector still need a lot of investment, and so mine is to pick your mind on what informs these investment decisions from an investor point of view. What do you hear them saying? Why do they want to invest in healthcare, a facility perhaps in Baringo, Samburu, or a mobile facility perhaps somewhere? I don't know. What do you hear them saying?
Thank you for that question. I think one of the major things is ROI for most investors. They're looking for return on investment. But again, it depends on the kind of investor. There are those who go for social impact, but we're seeing them moving more towards ROI. In fact, I was having a discussion yesterday with one of the panelists from yesterday, and he was telling me they've been investing in health, but now they're moving away from investing in health. And I think some of the dynamics that are going on right now in the health sector is really making investors run away. Even as private investors, even as an individual, that is. So there's that risk that you have to take when you're thinking of investing in health. But at the same time, they also look at impact, as I've said. How many people can we serve? And a lot of times you'll find that investment goes into government because, of course, they have the biggest reach, more than private sector. But I think the other thing we really need to think about when we're looking at investment in health, we are so focused on disease facing, like HIV, TB, most of the investments are going towards that. But why not invest in preventive healthcare? Majority of the population is well, right? So why not have investments in preventive health so that we stop the journey to getting already into disease, which is more costly. Even as Justin said, in terms of time, in terms of employee contributions, in terms of economic growth, health is a huge factor. If you look at the SDGs, health cuts across. If it's gender or women, more women, healthcare is served by about 75% of its workforce is women, mostly because of nursing. If you look at poverty, so it's two ways. Either you start a business to get you out of poverty, or healthcare drives you into poverty because of out-of-pocket spending. So we have to look at healthcare as a solution for economic resilience, but we also have to think of the businesses. How do we prepare them for economic resilience? So it's a two-pronged approach. Thank you.
Interesting insights right there. Dr. Juang, let me bring you in on this one. Earlier in the year, I was, still is in a CNN Academy program, which runs for some time. And the program was offered in Dublin, Ireland. While there, I got sick. Okay, change of environment. Unajua tu maneno. I went over the counter trying to buy medicine, and I couldn't do that because they're very, very strict. In Europe, it's very, very strict. You have to, first of all, have a health record, and there has to be a diagnosis. And I was told that if I don't have time to go to the hospital, I can consult online, and the doctor will diagnose me and give a diagnosis if, in case, I do not need any blood work or anything of the sort. So that is one aspect. Number two, how many of us here grew up with that small booklet? There was a small booklet you are given when you go to the dispensary. How many of us have it? Sorry, how many of us used it? Kitabu maroma yelo manimi ikidhi hospitalcha. You used it. Great. Do you have it today? How many have it? Do you still refer to it for medical history? But look at that sample size. Among about 30 or 50 people, we have only one, right? So I'm bringing in also the issue of medical history. The digital platforms, of course, are presenting very beautiful opportunities for us to explore in terms of diagnosis, healthcare. There's another interview I did with another startup earlier on in the year. It's called M-Clinic, where they have doctors, and I'm sorry this question is protracting. I'm just trying to give examples so that you appreciate where we're going towards with this question. So what M-Clinic does is they have an app. It's like an Uber for health workers. So if, let's say, you live in Nyamasaria, Jo Nyamasaria untie? If, say, you live in Nyamasaria, or you live in Kanyakwar, or you live in Migosi, and you have an emergency at night, where do you go to, for example? You're able to log into the application and find a nurse or a doctor or a health official within the radius where that application is, call them, and they come and attend to you. And the sense this person was making to me when I was interviewing her of her innovation was that so many of us, let's say we live in Nairobi, for example, and your parent gets sick in, say, Migori, and you have to drive from Nairobi to Migori to go attend to your dad. You're not a doctor, first of all. Number two, you're not helping with the emergency. So I'm just trying to paint a picture of the digital innovations that have now come. Which are some of the most promising ones that you have seen in your operation with some of these health issues or the emerging health issues that are coming up right now?
Thank you for the very elaborate explanation, and which was culminating in a question. First of all, I happen to be a consumer of digital health platforms, which we interact with every single day when we're offering our services to all our patients or our clients. There are several advantages that these platforms actually give us. As you can see from the random survey we did here about how many still have those booklets from decades ago, just one. But with this digital health platforms you're using, like the health management information systems, they actually help you keep accurate records for years, doing away with these traditional files that are rotting away in offices. Okay, these platforms enable easy transfer of information. For example, if your doctor needs to send it to another specialist for second opinion, it's usually the information can be relayed electronically, plus also giving backups. So if you wanted a hard copy printed, you can easily obtain them. These digital health platforms usually help to ensure that whenever data is archived, we can easily retrieve the data. We can use it to make analysis of disease trends, do predictions on, disease occurrences. And actually, that actually usually informs a lot of decisions that we make in the healthcare setting. And also, with adoption of digital health platforms, we find that there's better even information security in line with our the Data Protection Act of 2019. You find that data access is restricted to people. In fact, if you get to a healthcare facility, for example, where I work at AR Healthcare, you'll find that at every station, a staff is interacting with a computer or a machine that they'll keep feeding medical information. But you realize that every staff has certain level of access that ensures privacy. At the reception, they'll only be able to access your demographic data when they're booking you in or queuing you in. But when you get to the clinical side of it, the nurses, the doctors, now those will be able to actually access the more private medical information that is used. Of course, as people in the medical field, we actually try to adhere to strict levels of privacy and confidentiality. I can list just a few. The experience you had is actually quite good. That you need to be seen somewhere. The doctor needs to write a prescription for you and recommend exactly what you need. And we are moving in a direction whereby with the advancement in technology, we're trying to reduce the number of people actually visiting hospitals. This actually even helps to reduce things like hospital-acquired infections. We try to limit the amount of time we spend in the hospital halls. So what we have currently, I can give examples at AR Healthcare. We're continuously evolving. We've, of course, the traditional health information management system has been there for decades now, but we're trying to now break it down. For example, we have an ongoing mental health portal whereby any person can access, you can access the platform, create a simple user account. You know, mental health is quite big in our society right now. And if you look at even the statistics, they say that about 10% of the population are suffering from a certain mental health condition at any given time. If you move on to the people who actually visit our outpatient centers, the statistics even goes high to about 20 to 25%. If you go to the people in admitted in wards, the percentage of mental health prevalence is quite high, up to 40%. So by putting such innovations like a mental health portal, strictly you go take a mental health assessment, takes you about 2 to 3 minutes to complete, then you submit, after which our clinical teams will reach you out and put appropriate interventions. Others we've had things like to do with health promotion clinics. We're talking about preventive health care being very, very important and big right now. It saves cost, even to Justin's team. It saves them cost through ensuring that people are healthy, people are able to identify diseases earlier on, people are able to put interventions before you have very serious life-threatening complications, okay? We also have a patient portal that you can access your records, your medical records. Once you've been seen at the hospital, I think this has been adopted by quite a number of medical facilities. Unfortunately, I have to put it out here for any person looking to invest in tech. Like in Kenya, about 20-25% of hospitals actually use a non-digital platform to manage their patients, also even to run their institutions. Things like ERP, they don't have. Things like health information management, they do not have, yes. So about 20-25% use this. But these things actually help us quite a bit. For example, I know quite a number of even insurance companies have adopted AI, artificial intelligence, in terms of claims management and processing, so that they can easily, remove the recurrent use of a lot of bulky papers to, analyze and approve claims for payment. Okay. Also, in medical field, people are actually adopting AI in terms of assistance in diagnostics. For example, AI can read your images. You take your mammogram, AI can look at your image and interpret. You do your MRI, AI can look at it and even give credible suggestions, okay? So such developments are there and they're continuously evolving to be perfect. Almost human-like interpretations are currently being given, okay? One very interesting innovation I think I saw, this was from across the border, Uganda, where a certain engineering student actually came up with a prickless malaria test and actually was awarded, was given a $33,000 grant for his innovation. This was around 2018, 2019, thereabout. So imagine, instead of you coming with a young child and we have to prick to do a malaria test, this gadget will simply, the same way you do your pulse oximetry, this gadget detects presence of malaria in your body accurately. So you see, there's a lot that is to ensure that there is a adoption of these digital technologies. Thank you.
Oh, interesting. We're entering the second and the last round of questions, so please prepare your questions if you have any. Let me bring in Justin on this one. And on this question, I'm particularly focusing on the informal sector. We've pretty much figured tier one insurance collections, health collections. Let me rephrase that again. We've pretty much figured out tier one health insurance deductions. So that is the statutory deductions and SHA, all right? Number two is where AAR operates. This is majorly corporate and tier two, right? But how do we also drive adoption amongst these entrepreneurs who don't necessarily, are not perhaps within the system or are employing people who they are consulting with, and they want them to still be included in health insurance and also the informal sector, and to put it plainly, as His Excellency the President says it, Mama Mboga, the border guy, how do we increase inclusion within that sector?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, I think it's still in the same line of thought. There's still affordability issue. So we still, first our approach is we still believe in social health insurance as an insurer, and also in the as a private sector player, that we work we complement each other, or we supplement supplemental insurance. So we believe that SHA should work very well to provide that first line. I'm not saying it's not working. I'm saying we believe that it should succeed. So then on top of that, then we'll come in. Remember, as private sector, we only cover about 3 million people at most, out of the 55 million Kenyans. So meaning we still have more than 50 million or 45 million Kenyans who have no private insurance. And then we have maybe 20 million people in SHA, who some of them are not regular contributors. So for us, we think for that segment, we're all trying very hard to work with. We believe in partnerships. We cannot do it alone. So we work with organizations and communities themselves to bring in the solutions. We have developed the solutions. We have affordable solutions. We have already seen traction in many areas. We have farmers as groups that we have insured. We have business groups that have come together. We have community groups that have come together. So we're realizing that's the best way to build trust and also to get in. On top of that, which is very important, is the infrastructure to manage all these interactions, which we have built, technology. So we are fully digital, and we're able to allow people to enroll as a group digitally or individually, so that then there's transparency, there's ease of coming in, there's ease of access of services digitally. And I think Doc can tell you, when you have our card, or you're covered by us, you do not need to have physical cards. Your phone is enough. So which is seamless and enables us to reach everybody. Literally, we can onboard everybody in the country if they so wish, because it can take a few seconds. So that affordability, we have fixed it, and we have gone further. We partner with very affordable providers, that health facilities. So we do not have to take that small business that is paying little money and force them to pay more so that they can go to AR clinic or to go to Aga Khan or to the big ones. We have already partnered with other community-based, community-funded clinics, mission hospitals, government hospitals. We're the only insurer who has made inroads in partnering with all, county-level providers, so that we actually benefit from what is already there, that is affordable and is cost-efficient. So that affordability from the supply side all the way to the client, to the able to design solutions, is what we've worked on. So what is now remaining, I believe, we've already seen traction. I believe in a few years' time we will have a lot of traction covering the informal sector, covering the businesses, covering even individuals, and even senior citizens back in the villages, so that they all have access to services. Remember, people in the villages or in other places, they also depend on this informal business, or they depend on us. So they pull you back if you're not able to provide a social net that ensures that they access the best healthcare out there. So, and finally, these kinds of forums and other forums to raise the awareness, to educate, and to improve, because Kenyans have come to really love Harambee, especially now on WhatsApp. WhatsApp has become the best insurance platform, and we have really tried to put our heads together on how do we bring insurance into those WhatsApp. How do we create insurance in a way that people can actually pool resources the way they do, because it's much cheaper than every month you have a budget. I personally find myself in always new groups every week. I'm sure all of us here, there's one that you just got in. So those are the things that we are learning from, and we can use those platforms to create awareness and to create alternatives that then customers, people out there can actually take up. Thanks.
I'm telling you, it was on my end, especially me being on TV. Dr. Ketugi, Dr. Juang earlier on almost enumerated, but what other opportunities do digital health startups have in this region that can improve our healthcare system?
Thank you. I think we should actually start from the government one, which is coming up, Taifa Care. And that's supposed to lead into the digital superhighway, which means that every citizen will be able to access their health data from wherever, both private and public, even faith-based. So I think that's revolutionary because a lot of times you'll find, like the card we were talking about, you forgot about the one for maternity, the purple book. I still have mine, thank you. So, you know, we have to keep lugging our x-rays, our CT scan films, whatever it is, our files. Some people have huge files for those who have chronic disease. So I think digital health is one of the ways we can really harangue that, but also in making decisions. Why, let's say, would Ministry of Health decide to allocate funds to something? So in the recent Digital Health Agency, they've shown us some data of our top 10 highest consumers of SHA insurance. And number 2, surprisingly, is dialysis, renal health. So there's something wrong in that part. I think there's not been a lot of emphasis in renal health, for instance. So some of this data can actually inform government decisions. So now to your question. There have been a lot of apps, I think, that have come up of late. I think everyone has seen like MyDawa, there's One Global, there are so many. But I think instead of duplicating what we're doing, how can we augment you know, the services being provided? I like the one that was mentioned about the transporting of healthcare workers or linking patients to their healthcare workers. I think that's an area that has not been really addressed. Looking at health records, looking at treatment in terms of your medication, etc. How do we easily connect all the sectors of health? I think Justin mentioned earlier, most of the time we think of the big ideas, infrastructure, you know, but are we thinking about HRH, health resources, human resources for health? And it's something that a lot of providers struggle with. So let's say Doc here has to hire 10 consultants to run his practice. But what if there was a way we could work together with government? One party hires, the other party uses, and vice versa. So it can be a barter trade sort of thing, not really a money exchange, because again, in health, you find a lot of resources are limited. We are a developing country, which means that communicable diseases are the highest burden. But we are heading now to NCDs, non-communicable diseases, which is now even a greater burden, which is why I was saying preventive health is a place we focus. But also leveraging digital health for knowledge transfer. Are we training our healthcare workers, empowering them to give the best quality care that can actually be provided? Yeah, thank you.
I think the sense I get from your statement, especially around collaboration, is that, and from an economic point of view, this is a macroeconomic point of view, is that we are, by the day, seeing a lot of austerity measures from a fiscal point of view, so from budgeting, whatnot. You know, we cannot also trust that there's going to be an incremental budgetary allocation towards healthcare. So think of austerity measures as those things that you reduce expenditure towards so that you manage with the tight economic situation. And the biggest fault we make is we reduce allocations towards healthcare. And interestingly, education normally just takes the lion's share. I think about 27% of Kenya's budget is directed towards education. But healthcare, there's little to minute attention towards it. So it makes up 6%, right? So it makes a big case for why we should collaborate more, because research bodies like Oxfam, these activist research bodies, Oxfam, I think, Okoa Uchumi, they keep highlighting some of these things, that the biggest victims of austerity measures, when World Bank is telling Kenya, for us to lend to you guys have to tighten here, you guys have to tighten here. So that makes a big case for the collaboration efforts, and I hear you on that. I was just augmenting a bit. Dr. Juang, let's finish off with you before I bounce it to the audience finally. How many of you here wake up and go and test, let me use the most dreaded one. How many of you here wake up and go and test for cancer? How many of you have done a cancer test? I haven't. It's so intrusive. Prostate cancer test is so intrusive. Please, guys, make it, please, I beg you, if you make men prostate cancer testing better, it's so intrusive. I don't like it.
Can I say
the
that?
doctor is, yes, please, yeah, please comment before I ask the question.
It's really funny. I think that for men, it's that one test that is super invasive. Look at women. Cervical cancer screening, my friend, is a painful affair.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So aside from that, mammography. So don't complain. We are also there trying to get to...
Can we have better methods? I don't know.
Actually, they've been invented. There are
wow.
some in America, Europe as well, that are coming up. Maybe Doc can allude to that. But yeah, I think...
How many of us have tested for something they possibly know can possibly happen in future? I think I did blood work sometime this quarter, checking blood sugar levels, if I am... great, there we go. There we go. And it's mostly ladies. Wanaume bana. Men. There, Prof did. Prof, but you are healthy, Prof. You eat very healthy. Prof, everything you eat is organic, senior. Anyone, men, can I see a few more men? Anyone who's done preventive, just anything preventive just to take care of themselves? The reason why I'm asking that question is because a lot is lost when we lose an entrepreneur. This is a livelihood that is dependent on a family, for example, and the way small and medium enterprises are structured right now, there are no structures for takeover, for succession, for sustaining that business. When the owner of the business dies, that's it. So how do we increase preventive care so that we don't suffer those economic blows? Because we need to know what we are ailing from way before it gets to, and I'm saying this with a lot of reservations, stage 4 cancer, for example, where we can't come back. Yeah.
Thank you. I think on a daily or a weekly basis, I get a chance to address a group of people, maybe crowds of 5 to 10 or 15 sometimes, and the talk is usually about non-communicable diseases, the hypertensions, the cancers, and so on. One thing that usually cuts across is usually lack of information. The average Kenyan has more of a reactive health-seeking behavior rather than a proactive one, whereby they wait for something to happen, then they start looking for funds. Doing public education, public enlightenment, and just awareness campaigns to give people information such that they can actually make informed choices about their health. One thing we constantly do is to encourage people to take things like, annual wellness checks. Currently, the small percentage of Kenyans who have medical insurance usually have medical wellness somewhere in the package there. It's amongst the services they get, the benefits they get. But if you look at the number of actually take it up to go and do their checks, it's very, very limited. The biggest thing is fear of the unknown, fear of an unfavorable diagnosis, and also probably from experience, they say that, my partner, my friend, my sibling did this test and alipatikana na hii, so me, I rather not do. But unfortunately, they say my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Yeah. Primary health care plays a big role in prevention of diseases. And the problem is that, as you, in your previous submission in this, you mentioned that healthcare funding is very, very limited. If you look at their budget declaration, they say that on average, ideal budget allocation for health should be at least 15%. In our country, we are doing 6%. If you look at developed countries, they even have it at 20% towards healthcare. So we might have the policies, healthcare policies in Kenya that guide us out what to do in order to encourage preventive healthcare, but we do not have enough resources to cover them. We don't have even enough medical personnel to cover people in order to encourage preventive healthcare. Funny statistic is that in Kenya, we have about only 30 medical personnel per 100,000 people. Yet WHO says should be around 45. So you see, there's still a gap there. So there's quite a bit of work to be done in that area, including government policy in ensuring that we tax less. People encourage healthy lifestyle. We put lower taxes on medical equipment so that the services are affordable, and many others. Okay. Advantage of preventive healthcare is generally it reduces your cost to a big chunk. Okay. Diagnose the disease early, you have better chances of getting better. Thank you.
Great. That was very, very concise. Yeah, please. Appreciate the panelists. Questions, comments, rejoinders. By the way, a panel is also here so that when you disagree with a point, we also raise it. It's an education platform. If we need a feedback mechanism. Questions, comments. All right, we have here Ms. Nonsizi is here. Yes, we have one there. Keep it short to one panelist so that we manage time.
Maybe it's to all of them. Maybe what doctor can answer us about the policy when it comes to the control of over-the-counter drugs. In Kenya, we are really suffering from that, where we don't go to the hospital, we go to the chemist. Nasikia even diagnose ourselves now with the help of Google and the chemist. I even don't know if they are clinical officers and the children. Naona kama nitakupatia hii, and then we have had cases of people take the wrong drugs, or rather they delay discovery of the disease and it's too late. How far are we with policy of controlling that? Like, for example, in the Europe where you cannot go and buy drugs over the counter. What are we doing about it? I know, of course, it's multi-sectoral approach, even in the government, but are the doctors involved? Are we having a safety net for our people, if I may say?
Great. I think we take all the questions and we'll respond and conclude the panel. So just take note of your questions. Sheila, do you have someone on that end? There was a lady here. All right. It's okay. Just proceed.
Yeah, mine is, I don't know whether it's a question.
Yeah.
But I'm concerned from the point of view that we already have information from research. Like, for example, one of the panelists has said, for example, dialysis.
Yes.
Yeah, consumes a lot of money.
Yeah.
In terms of, like from SHA or wherever. Now, what are we doing as the health sector to ensure that we train people who have not yet reached there to manage and reduce the numbers? Although sometimes most of the diseases that are emerging, I don't have the figures, are associated with the lifestyles. So there is in quotes I can call a conflict of interest, that if you want advice, don't do this because it leads to this, then I don't know, maybe they can advise on us. For example, we talk about processed foods, for example.
Okay.
The medics will advise you when you are sick that don't eat this, and this.
Yeah.
But you find companies have invested a lot of money and they're making out of millions. So I don't know whether it's a question or an answer or a compliment or a comment.
Dr. Gitugi, perhaps you could take that on nutrition. My gym trainer is on my case about that. And you too. There's a comment, I think, there's a gentleman in black there, in glasses. This should be the gentleman from Ace Communication. Sorry. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Proceed. Sheila, you could pass her. Pass him the microphone. The gentleman in black. So after her, it's him. Then we close at that point.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I actually had two questions. As we're approaching the digital era, you'll find that most times when you go to the hospitals, especially public hospitals, a number of times you'll be told that the systems are down. So how effective are we making sure that these digital systems are effective? My other question was in the low-income communities, people have come to live around the terms that our health systems are weak and ineffective. So as we talk about strengthening the economic empowerment, who should be held accountable to ensure that improvements genuinely reach these people?
You know, health is a devolved function, so I wish the county government was here. But but you could take her last question, and then Dr. Jong, you could take the ones for digital systems. Very fast. Yes, the gentleman in black, yes.
Okay, good afternoon. So probably my comment, I would like probably a comment from the panel in the spirit of affordability and inclusion, especially those suffering from chronic ailments, the likes of cancer. So how are we, or rather, what programs are we having to accommodate, let's say, for example, somebody is looking at having an individual insurance product. How are we likely to accommodate, especially if we know they have declared that they have cancer, whichever stage? Probably a comment from Dr. Cliff. From your space, what kind of improvements or solutions are you having to this particular group, especially now that they'll be involved in having medication probably for the rest of their life, or if this condition was discovered early enough, then at some point they can be able to beat cancer in itself. Yeah.
All right, great. Let me have my panelists respond, and then we close at that point. Literally, the panelists are standing between you and lunch. So,
Thank you very much. The first question I want to tackle is on the over-the-counter medication and its regulations. Many of us doctors, even Dr. Gitugi here knows, we in the medical field actually big on what we call antimicrobial stewardship, where you try to ensure that the moment you are given medications by the clinician, it is for the right thing, targeting the right organism, and also for the correct duration of time. But as you all know that many people would want to take shortcuts in terms of seeking medical help. Many of us, myself included, if I woke up with a headache and a slight fever, I'll probably go and take a paracetamol. Or some people go a step further and start, taking anti-malarials if in the malaria endemic zones like Isumu. Or if you have things like flus, you start taking amoxil. But if you look at it, you might actually be doing the wrong thing and an injustice to yourself, because this usually leads to far-reaching complications in the long run. We have bodies that actually help enforce such regulations, things like the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. They enforce and actually regulate people in the pharmacy practice, such that you do not just give medications over the counter because you need to make revenue out of it, but it should be justified. And also, we doctors are also regulated by the KMPDC, whereby our practice is monitored and regulated strictly. So when we know that in medical practice, one of the things we are there to is to do no harm to anyone. So if your pharmacist is giving you drugs without knowing exactly what's going on, they're probably doing you harm. Maybe Dr. Gitugi will have maybe something to add there. So it's an issue of not having adequate enforcement, and also it's an issue of members of the community not maybe having adequate resources to access essential medical care. And also sometimes it's about, people want to save time and avoid the consultation by the doctor. So those are the things that I could say about it. About the question, I thought that was being directed at Justin, about the person with chronic illness, let's say whichever stage of cancer, and seeking a medical insurance, and they declare I think you'll have a comment on that. But at any medical facility that is accredited to manage cancer and other chronic disease, there should always be, remember that in our constitution they said that every Kenyan has a right to the highest level of healthcare. Yeah. So what I can say is that whatever the condition that you have, if you approach any medical facility that is compliant to all the regulations, they should also be able to offer you some level of care to their limits that they're able to do within their licensing capacities. Thank you.
Thank you. So in a previous life, I'm actually a pharmacist. So let me take that over-the-counter question. So as we are building the economy towards Singapore, right? we don't have time to queue at Dr. Zhuang's clinic. We want to rush to the pharmacy, tell them our symptoms, and get our dawa and move back to the building the economy, right? But the risk with that, of course, as he has mentioned, is the pharmacist giving you the right medication for what you're suffering from? Because headache and fever, as he gave an example, could be an indication of so many things. So many things. And just taking that maramoja, or headaches, or whichever one you subscribe to, sonamoja, I don't know, ends up affecting your liver. You know, someone mentioned about dialysis and, you know, what are the things that we are doing that are taking us there. It's not just nutrition, it's the medication we consume, it's the pesticides that are in our foods, it's environmental pollution, it's everything that enters your body. So I think for over-the-counter, the control is regulation, as he has mentioned. And as much as we have the policies, how are we enforcing them? Just as a tip, if you're going to buy medication from a pharmacy, look out for that red sticker that says registered by Pharmacy and Poisons Board, and there's even a number you can check that license and confirm. Even for hospitals these days, there are also stickers that, or even you can go to the KMPDC portal and confirm that facility is actually licensed to treat you. So that way you're safeguarding yourself, you're safeguarding your employees, you're safeguarding your family. Then I think back to that question on dialysis, aside from the nutritional aspect of things, preventive care is actually the key to that. Make sure you're getting your tests done annually. If you're over 40, probably there's a more frequent requirement for how often you should test. And that's part of the reason why primary health care exists for you. Because under the SHA Act, primary health care is actually supposed to be free, which means that you don't have to be a paid-up SHIF member to access primary health care. Primary health care is funded by the government. Then there's also the Emergency and Chronic Care Fund, which is now for cancer and all those other long-term conditions. Both those are funded by government. And then SHIF is funded by us as citizens. So if you're employed or unemployed, an artisan, whichever your contribution is what funds SHIF. Then I think there was another question. Something about yeah, she asked about how is the public sector being able to implement this move to digital health or even data management. I think one of the things we usually forget when we have these big ideas is how are we going to implement it? It's awesome, let's have a superhighway. Okay, great. But how are we going to implement? And the challenge the public sector has had so far is they're using the system while it's being built. So imagine Nairobi Expressway is being constructed and we are driving on it. What would happen? So the same way, the superhighway is being built under Taifa Care, but we are also using the system at the same time. So hence all these downtimes and etc. So I think it's a planning issue, probably an implementation issue, but I'll not speak for county. I wish they were here, they could say for themselves. But I think that those are some of the things we usually forget in health. How do we implement, or are we planning sufficiently? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think for me, most of my questions have already been answered, so I'll just add a little bit. So the first one was about cover for people who have already been diagnosed with cancer or any chronic condition. So insurance covers these things, but usually they'll give you a waiting period, say 1 year. Reason for that is, as mentioned earlier, Let's Take is to educate businesses and people just to take insurance before the event. Remember, insurance is for, again, education. Is for situations that are unforeseen. You don't take insurance when your house is burning, or you don't take insurance when your car is already having an accident, or you don't take insurance when you're already in the hospital bed. So when the diagnosis has happened, that is when a 1 year waiting period is imposed, so that you don't pay us 10,000 shillings to claim 1 million shillings. You get? Because we will be unfair to the other people, because it's a pool of money. The other people have contributed for the unforeseen situation. The second question I just wanted to contribute is there's a question around access to quality healthcare by the informal or low income or the local communities. Why is it that the facilities are not up to the level that is expected, or why the care is not the level that is required? And for me, just as a leader, just to share my thoughts, always has been, I think more investment, in my view, more people should be directed to utilizing the public facilities, and that's where you can get affordable care, especially for the serious cases that have been talked about, including even for preventative health care. I have a synonym that I tried to compare this, not sure how I can put it. It's something that I always share with policymakers, that if you are providing free primary education, for example, we rarely pay for you to go to private school. But when we are doing free healthcare, we pay for you to go to a private hospital. So then I will have to argue, maybe Doc will have his own way of pricing for services, and they will have a back and forth with the authorities for a long time. But if you say, we have our own facilities, you go there, we pay for you, then we can be able to build, invest, and develop these institutions, because then they're actually directly nearest to the people, and they're able to help increase universal health coverage. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, our panelists. We truly appreciate. Let's appreciate them to make this close. That's a powerful point to leave it at. I noticed all of you were so attentive. There are perhaps way more questions. You'll get a one-on-one with them, depending on what question you have. Allow me now to call my colleagues from the media to come to have that one photo as we close, and to also invite my co-MC for some work, some important work we need to do. All right, let's jam in together. There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Juang. Thank you, Dr. Gitugi. Thank you, Justine. All right. Great.
One time. So we have come to the end of today's panels. A warm round of applause to yourselves, you guys. You've done an amazing job.
Yeah. Thank you so much for making time and resources to be here. But most importantly, we would like to recognize some of the huge enablers of this event, starting, of course, with the mother of all, the biggest convener.
Yes.
The folks who literally made this possible. Could we see the team from IMC people? Let's just see all of you. Richard, CEO Jeanette, David, who's been very supportive over here.
Please, you can rise. Yes, I can see her from here. Even though I'm squinting, I can see her in maroon.
Hey,
yes.
Look at that.
The IMC people.
Look at that. Where is Andrew? Andrew Mwangi?
Very lovely team.
Andrew Mwangi
Yeah,
is
he's
outside.
outside.
Okay, great. These are the conveners of this summit. Thank you so much for bringing us together to discuss issues that affect us on a daily basis. You have a special place in heaven with Wi-Fi and a bathtub.
And a charger.
And a charger.
And a full-time charger.
Exactly.
Right.
Who are we recognizing next?
Our key partners, the county government of Kisumu.
Europe.
The reason as to why we are here.
Right.
Tumehostiwa nyumbani. Huku si ni kwenu?
And my governor is a professor.
Yes.
Hello.
He is indeed. A warm round of applause for Kisumu County.
Let's come.
Oh, tukuje, tukaribiane.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. The Lake Region Economic Bloc. Lake
Yes,
Region Economic
Economic
Bloc.
Bloc, yes.
Special appreciation to. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, who's up next?
Our summit sponsors, starting with Arise IIP. A round of applause for them.
Arise IIP, an affiliate of Afrexim Bank, one of my best clients we've worked with this year. Thank you so very much for making this possible. Vipingo Special Economic Zone.
Clap for them.
Wantoka
Thank you
Mombasa
very
ni
much.
kule.
Sijui kama kuna mtu wa huko.
Representative from Vipingo, did you see anyone?
Okay.
All right.
But they were here and we felt their presence.
Great.
Kenya Climate Innovation Center. Kenya Climate Innovation Center.
KCIC.
Oh yes, we
Oh,
have a representative.
Irugu.
Thank you very much.
They pulled a beautiful summit, I think about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
On the startups that are impact driven and all that. I was a participant. It was
And you had one of them in the panel yesterday. Did
Actually
an
two.
amazing job. Two, yeah?
Actually
Right.
two.
Yes,
One
yes.
earlier, then the CEO later on.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful folks. I'll pass my regards to Tobias Bele, who is my friend. Yes.
AAR Insurance, and I know they're in the building.
Represented massively today.
Yes.
This-
Oh, yes.
Oh, here we go.
The team.
Here we go.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you
a
so
whole team
much.
right there.
Yes, thank you so much.
Asanteni sana. Haifa International Kenya.
Are they in the building?
Haifa.
Yes.
Let's see you.
Hey! Yes, you can do the dance. You can do the dance,
okay,
Amina. Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yo.
Yes, we also have development finance partners.
Time for DFIs. And the first one we'll recognize is the Swed Fund.
Swed Fund. If you have
Do
a
we have a
representative, they can stand.
Swed Fund.
Okay,
Thank
but then
you.
we can clap for them in absentia as well.
Norfund is up next.
Norfund? Anyone from Norfund?
Norfund.
Okay.
IMC people, you guys have a beautiful relationship with the Scandinavians. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Then we can clap for them as well.
Last but not least, under that category, we have the International Finance Corporation. This is the private investment wing of the World Bank Group. IFC, do we have a
Wako
representative?
in the building. Haya, tuwape makofi yao tafadhali.
All right, great.
Asante sana. Then we have our partners.
Summit partners.
Oh yes. Kenya National Chamber of Commerce.
And Industry.
Wako huku.
KNCCI. Mr. Agena was here with us.
Yes, a couple of days, just yesterday.
Monday?
On Monday, yes.
The opening day.
Yes.
Special appreciation to KNCCI Kisumu branch. Where are you guys?
Also, Kenya Investment Authority can invest.
Can Invest, thank you so much for making this possible.
A warm round of applause for them as well. Also, special thanks to Export Processing Zones Authority.
Correct. Now, this is the body that is in charge of managing all the special economic and export processing zones. So think about the one there's one in Athi River, Dongo Kundu, Special Economic Zone and EPZ, and there are so many other more that are coming up. So just the way SHIF is managed by SHA, EPZs are managed by the EPZA. So special appreciation to the EPZA.
Thank you very much. Kenya Commercial Bank, KCB Group.
The biggest company in market capitalization in East and Central Africa.
Are they in the building? Okay, we
KCB.
can give them their flowers. Clap for them.
Accommodation partners. Here we have the hosts, Le Grand Royal Suisse Hotel.
Yes. Let me do the Grand Royal Swiss Hotel, our summit host. A warm round of applause for them. Tumelala vizuri, tumekula vizuri.
Wewe.
Sasa tunaenda kuogelea.
Wacha tuende swim sasa.
So,
écoutez s'il vous plaît mademoiselle, la prononciation avec le Grand Royal Swiss Hotel.
okay. A warm round of applause for them. Thank you. Until you teach me French.
Until I teach you French.
Yes. Then we have Acacia Premier as well. They were our accommodation partners.
Acacia Premier Hotel.
Maua Kwao.
You know. There's Lovely Garden Guest House. Lovely Garden.
Yes. Oh, yes, they are in the building. They are well
there you go.
represented.
There you go.
Karibu, asante sana. And then Fairway Hotels.
Fairway Hotel. In a special way, let's recognize summit exhibitors, the NSSF, National Social
Security NSSF.
NSSF.
Na watu wachutilie manani pesa ya
Uzeeni.
tafadhali. And they're in the building. I can see.
NSSF.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
And also we had them throughout the summit.
Correct.
And we really appreciate them.
We truly appreciate
Thank you so much.
Let's gloss over this one.
Sasa tuende tukienda. So we mentioned Karuheni. Sasa uko tunasemanga ile moja ya pa.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Tukienda.
Nego diereu.
Nego diereu. Jubilee Insurance. Yes, we do hiyo ya chwa. Right?
So let's just read all of them and then
we clap.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
ICA Lion Group.
Little Up.
Kenya Airways.
Long Ridge International Schools.
Garcia Poa.
Garcia Poa.
Right. That's what I've read. So it is.
Can we see you?
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. Garcia Poa.
Right.
Okay.
Clean Kisumu Limited.
Bluebells Limited.
Protocol Hub International.
Mama's Gold Carbonized.
Kenya Revenue Authority.
Absa Bank.
National Industrial Training Authority, NITA.
NITA, yes. Kenya Utalii College.
Agra.
Jagedo.
Release Letha Enterprise.
Mtaka.
Eldosil.
Glimas Cleaning Company.
Camco Machinery.
GIZ from the German people.
All right. Sanking.
Wild International.
Safari Link.
Geminia Insurance.
Somo Africa.
Green Severex.
AAR Healthcare.
Vermicid Ventures.
And Takawiri Lock Blocks.
All right.
Right?
Yes, I think we have one more coming in right now, whom we have notes.
Zoho
and Mhasibu
Sibu
Sako.
Sako. Yes, all of those. Please, a warm round of applause.
Bila nyinyi hatuko hii town.
Ati?
Bila nyinyi partners.
Atungekuwa huku. Atungekuwa.
Tunashukuru.
Yes.
Truly thank you so much for making this possible. We truly appreciate it. And perhaps somebody would do better justice of saying thank you than us.
Yes, definitely. We'll have Richard,
the managing director
from IMC. A warm round of applause for him as he makes his way to the stage.
One of the things I have complimented Richard for is for wearing suits that have the right size of the jacket.
Oh,
a good
and
jacket
he looks stunning in them.
Must pass your pocket, and, and he wears so well. Very consistent at them.
Yes.
And perhaps some red bottom shoes too. Take it away,
compliments. Sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, a good afternoon once again. My name is Richard Ololwatch, the Managing Director at IMC People. And for most of you who are wondering what this IMC stands for, it's Integrated Marketing and Communication. So we had an experience where people were butchering our name, so don't feel bad. It's very difficult on the mouth, so just feel welcome again. On behalf of the entire Business Ecosystem Summit team and the IMC people, it is my great honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks. First and foremost, we'd like to extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation to each and every one of you for taking time to be part of this summit. Your presence, engagement, and contribution has made this entire summit truly impactful. To our speakers, to our panelists, we thank you for your thought leadership. We are very grateful for your bold conversations, and we are challenged that in this particular summit we've been able to get different perspectives We've sparked innovations from different exhibitors and also innovators from around the country. And also we've inspired action from trying to inspire collaboration and call for continued support. To our partners and sponsors, we are very grateful for your confidence and trust in us, because your support is what has convened this summit and made everything very possible. We're also very grateful to our sponsors and partners once again for bringing and trusting us to bring this vision into life, and we truly value the trust that you placed in us. We also extend our sincere appreciation to the all organizing committee for the Business Ecosystem Summit, which includes our volunteers and ushers, our technical teams, and also the service providers who worked tirelessly to ensure that we have a seamless experience, and also that their dedication to this summit made it very successful. As the IMC people, once again, we also remain committed to supporting your growth through our various integrated marketing and communication solutions, spanning strategic communications. We also offer brand development, digital marketing, public relations, as well as stakeholder engagement. And we are hopefully inviting everyone to continue partnering with us, even as you scale your brand visions and also institutions and impact across your organizations. To our current partners, we look forward to continuing this partnership, even if you go to the next year and subsequent editions of Business Ecosystem Summit. To our prospective partners again, we warmly welcome you to engage with us as we continue to deliver and grow this platform together. As we conclude, we hope that the connections formed here can translate into real partnerships. We also look forward to investments and sustainable solutions that are going to shape the future of our region. Once again, we'd like to extend our sincere gratitude for you being part of our summit, and we wish you safe travels, continued success, as well as hosting you in the next year's edition of Business Ecosystem Summit. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you.
Very well then.
Yes.
Kilicho na mwanzo.
Hakina budi kuwa na mwisho.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Naona kama kuna communication itaje na Kiswahili?
Kuna tangazo.
Tangazo. Sijui kama unataka kutupatia tangazo?
Here we say milome.
Okay, tangazo.
Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, technology is failing us here a bit, but let's leave it at that. It's been a beautiful experience having you for the last 3 days, and I am truly, truly, personally very happy to have come home to speak at home after speaking everywhere else in the world, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Yes. Yes, a warm round of applause for him, please. And also thank you for being a wonderful co-host. We've had fun. You've made it lighter. You've done a lovely, lovely job. Thank you so much. I would not have done this without your able ability.
And so have you, Nyarmurima.
Asante sana. Nice. I must say, Kisumu people, you are so warm. I hope this is it, because I don't think it's PR. I definitely will be back, hoping to see you in the next summit, if it's going to be here or wherever else. And I'm truly, truly grateful. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful, lovely audience. We have enjoyed working with you, having conversations with you. It's been amazing.
Correct. And this commitment doesn't just end here.
Yeah.
You will see a few pieces that we'll be publishing on the newspapers, on television. So if you see your face on TV, just know it all came from this point. Why are we doing that? Is because we want to take the conversation just beyond these four walls to be able to reach a bigger audience. You never know who is listening. You never know who is watching. Our commitment is to communicate effectively and to the very right people, so that the resolutions we make here are able to be seen and acted upon effectively.
Yes. And I think that has been it. My name is Agnes Nonsizi Ng'ethe. You can find me on all social media platforms with that name, Agnes Nonsizi Ng'ethe.
And my name is Brian Jojotieno Jahom. You can find me on social media, but catch me on NTV and continue supporting Nation Media Group. Asanteni sana, Erorukamano. I was truly, truly blessed to be home.
Until the next event, we break for lunch. And yes, you can clap. A warm round of applause.
Before we break for lunch, let's arise for the national anthem. And the East Africa anthem before I ask Willie Soyola to come and pray
for us.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu.
Willis.
We may believe and pray. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we want to thank you for this third day you've gathered us in this place, King of Kings. We want to thank you even for our pioneers and our facilitators, King of Kings. We want to thank you even for the Grand Royal where we've been hosted, Almighty King of Kings. We want to thank you for each and every family that was represented in this place. We pray for blessings, we pray for your mercies, and as we're going for lunch, Almighty God, we pray that you may bless it and that it may have its purpose in us. And this is our humble prayer, trusting and believing in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
We will correct later kama kuna makosa. Lakini umesikia mali DJ ameanzia hapo? We have a gala tonight. Sema gala. Gala muru.
Gala dinner.
Yes, we have a gala dinner tonight to network, to enjoy, and to close BES 2025 in a special way. So you're most invited. Let's meet there, let's talk. Sindio?
Yes.
Go get your black ties, you know, your ginene tokea looking weddable.
Right? All right. But we can break for lunch right now.
Please, please.
All right. Thank you so much and see you later.